everyone, Samantha here, the Hugo Stitcher. Welcome to my channel. I have a really fun, jam-packed episode here for you today. I have to admit, I have been accumulating, so many things that I can't wait to share with you. Every single time I have something that I can't wait to share, I place it on my table. And I go back to stitching and then I'm done with that project, put it on the table. And I've just been accumulating works in progress. I have recently put together some of my past finishes and I've given them a fresh bath, washed them up, dried them, ironed them. Can't wait to show those to you today. I have, Stitchy kindness. I have birthday presents. I have so many things that I've accumulated and it's all here in front of me on the table ready to share with you. So I hope you're ready for some fun. I hope that you have your stitching out and that you are in your comfy spot. Maybe you've lit a candle. I lit one for you so that you could enjoy it while you're watching the video. I like to get cozy when I stitch. It's sort of like a ritual, right? Like you get your spot set up. It's fall now, so electric blanket is out. I light a candle and I sit down and, watch Flosstube. I am someone who enjoys watching Flosstube very much. I enjoy the company while I stitch. So that's my goal here today, is that I hope that this video brings you some comfort and some excitement, and hopefully it enables you. And I'm just looking for some great company and I hope you are too. So here we go. I'm gonna start off with a stitch along that I started in September for the first day of fall. This is Autumn is as Joyful by Leela Studio. Thank you so much to everyone who had decided they were going to join. That was very fun to see stitchers jumping on and getting out their projects that they've kitted up and giving their autumn Quaker a start. I had a blast. First day of autumn, I worked on this project probably for a whole week and maybe a little longer. I really wanted to get some great progress to show, I've been stitching, but also keeping it a bit of a secret. I haven't shared my progress on Instagram. I wanted to save it for the video today. So here we go. Here's my progress. Look at that. My goal was always to start on page 1 and start in the corner and get that first letter in there for autumn, work on a Quaker. And once I had done that, oh my gosh, I just kept going. I grabbed, the next color and stitched them, kept going down, moved all the way down to the bottom of the design. There was another Quaker I wanted to do, this one here. This is a jumbo. It's huge. Next time I pick this up, I'm hoping to complete that part. Yeah, it's probably the largest Quaker in the design with the most stitching, I would think. But it's really beautiful. And a part of me wanted to get down and stitch this turkey next time. It's a beautiful, beautiful chart. Very enjoyable to stitch. I'm stitching mine on a 32 count Lugana. This is platinum. I went simple this time. I wanted the colors of those autumn leaves to pop off the fabric, and I find that platinum is the perfect color. Like, you can't go wrong. Platinum is a Zygarde, Zygarde, am I saying that right? Zygarde? Yeah, there we go. It sounded wrong the first couple of times I said that. Yeah, it's a perfect color. You can stitch, I feel like if you had platinum linen or platinum Lugana, you could literally stitch a sampler. It could be something spring with spring colors on it, and it's going to look beautiful on platinum. I have many charts that I have chosen this type of fabric for, and I absolutely love it. And I'm recently getting into Lugana. I love linen, but Lugana is really, really enjoyable to stitch with. And I'm using all of the called for colors that is charted. It's all DMC, 2 strands over 2 on 32 count. It's looking good. Yeah, so fun. So there's a hashtag. If you are interested in joining the Stitch Along, it was basically a start along. There's no like, you know, have to be completed this section by this point. It's just basically if you love this design, you can use the hashtag on Instagram and join others, see what other people have stitched on, and get inspired. The hashtag that we're using is Autumn is as Joyful SAL. And I want to mention something too, the quote in the middle. When Leela Studio first designed this chart and released it, there were some people who were confused by the quote and what it meant. And did they like it? Did they not like it? And Leela had very like lots of messages like, please explain to me what this means. And she decided to come up with another quote that you can put in the center. I'm going to read it to you. Okay, this one says, autumn is as joyful and sweet as an untimely end. That's what's currently in there. And I think I am going to stitch this quote. But she has come up with a new one. I'm going to insert a picture of, if you want to use a different quote, you have an option and you can download it for free from her website. It says, autumn is a second spring when every leaf is a flower. That's beautiful too. So that's so wonderful that she had given a second option. And I have recently watched Laura Lulla Stitches. She has decided to join the Start Along, and she charted her very own alternative, and it's beautiful. I wish I had written it down for you, but if you're interested in seeing what she did with hers, very clever, you can go follow her and go watch her latest video because she talked a lot about it, and I believe she has shared her chart of the different alternatives. So there's options out there. Some people are very gifted and know how to use certain programs to rechart things, and yeah, there's lots of options out there. Like I said, I think I'm going to stick to the chart and stick to the autumn is as joyful quote. Oh, look at how beautiful this design is. It's stunning. The colors. Like, I don't know what I'm going to do with this one. I have stitched three, the other ones. I've done summer Quaker and I've done spring Quaker. And they're not completed yet, but I have stitched them in different ways. You know, with the spring Quaker, I had done all of the outside all the way around and then did the center. With summer Quaker, I did a little bit, I'm doing a little bit of both. You know, I had done, because there's a lot of stitching in the summer Quaker right in the center. And so I am doing a little bit of the Quaker, a little bit more of the middle, and going back and forth. With this one, I might do the Quaker all the way around and leave the center for the end. We'll see. Oh, I really do love the acorn and the two squirrels up top. I think that's going to be really, really fun to stitch. Sometimes I like to leave the best for last, so we'll see where they go and where I feel inspired to stitch. But I have to say, this was really, really fun to do, stitching all of those fall colors, and look at the back stitching on those leaves. So perfect. There's some more leaves up at the top too. Oh, and something else I wanted to mention about this chart. The letters inside the chart, they spell autumn and they also spell fall. Something I had forgotten to mention before. You know, as you're stitching on it, you're like, oh, look at that, those letters, they spell autumn. And then I was like, wait a minute, what's the F for? And the L's, there we go. It's really, really cool. And there is a spot for you in the chart to leave your initials. She always does that in the Quakers. So in here, you'll see an E and a U. I believe those are her mom's initials. I think her mom does the stitching sometimes, and some of the designs, or she does too. I'm very excited to see what winter Quaker is going to look like. There's been some teasers on Leela Studio's Instagram that it's coming, so maybe mark it, or maybe she might release it this fall. We'll see, this winter, we'll see. All right, next up we have a very exciting Mirabilia that I have been working on. This is the Woodland Fairy, and I have been working on this with a Stitch Along with Amber Rogue Mama Stitcher and Sarah Memphis Sarah E. We both started this last year. I believe it was November or early December. We started this a year ago, and we're using the hashtag the Woodland Fairy SAL. If you're interested in joining, this is a beautiful chart. I believe it is now out of print, and it happened right around the time we had started the stitch along. So that's disappointing, but there are many of these out there floating around. You know, there are Stitchy shops that have inventory. You can hunt this down if you really wanted to. Beautiful design. So you've heard me say many times before that I love to save the best for last when I'm stitching my design. And typically a wing on a fairy is my favorite part. You know, because it's got the jewels in there and the Krynic and all the sparkle and all the things. And on this design, I had purposely left out the wings as I was stitching. And I have had, like, over the last month or so, I have been like, Samantha, just stitch what you want. Stitch the best part. Let's go for it. You know, keep it exciting. And I decided I was going to start the wings on this design. And I'm so happy with it. Oh my gosh. So the last time you saw this, I was, you know, filling in some of her dress and stitching her skin of her arms. I had already completed her face. I may have done the back stitching on her face to complete that. I love doing that too. And yeah, like I said, I had left that spot for the shape of her wing, and I decided to stitch it. I am using a couple of different things in this than called for on this chart, which I never do. I usually stick to exactly how it's charted. And I'm using a Veriswa sparkly floss. It is the exact same color as, it's the silver here. And I believe it is 01 for Krynic, and I decided to use an Veriswa. I wanted to try it out and see what it was like, and I really enjoyed stitching with it. I don't see much of a difference, like even compared to some of the other stitching in here has Krynic in it, and it's sparkly. It was fun to use. I wouldn't really even say like, oh, it's better, or it's the same. It's the same. And I'm glad I got a little bit of that experience in there to add this into my stitch. Also, I had found out, because I usually leave the Krynic wings to the end, I didn't realize that I didn't have a color. And when I was looking at it, I was like, oh no, how could I not have that color yet? I must have just not had kitted it up. And I thought, you know what, let me look through my stash, because I have quite a collection of Krynic behind me, and I have a lot of, I don't know why, but I have a lot of number 8 braid, and I had the color just in a number 8 instead of a number 4, and I thought to myself, if I use a number 8, it's the stitching's going to be plusher, like thicker than a number 4 braid. And then I got the idea, maybe that's a good idea. Maybe that's a good idea to sort of add that dimension. And you can see, like, her wings aren't completed yet, but you can see that this is really like bold compared to this. And even compared to the green Krynic up here. It's just thicker and bolder and almost adds like dimension. And on her wing, there's more to it. If you look at the picture here, there's that first shape of the wing that you can see that I've outlined. And then there's a second wing peeking out in the back. So there's another point here. And I might, when it comes down to that, use the number 4 to sort of show like this wing is up front, and the number 4 braid, same color, will be the background farther away. Just an idea I have. I'm not there yet, but something I'm thinking about. It'll give me some more time to find the number 4 braid. I don't know about you guys, but I'm having some challenges finding certain colors. You know, my typical go-to, if like 1, 2, 3 Stitch doesn't have it and they're all sold out, I was like, oh no. But I have, you know, there's a local needlework store here that I work at sometimes, Lizzie B's. And the last time I had a shift, I was there, and she had recently gotten a new shipment of Krynic. So I was like, let me just take a little looky-loo and see if she has any of the colors that I need. And I found a couple. And this is something that I wanted to bring up. So I found this color here. This one is 096, number 4 braid. And it's for an upcoming stitch that I started already. I'm gonna share it with you really soon. I have a new start and it used this color, so that was exciting. And then also, this is just a restock for myself. I ran out of 093, but I wanted to talk about the difference of how Krynic is coming now. From what I know is that these spools, you know, this is the old way of Krynic coming on the spools. And now that Krynic has been purchased by Rainbow Gallery, they are slowly making the transition of moving them onto the carts. And I have mixed feelings, and I would love to hear your thoughts on this, because I've heard chitter chatter on the, you know, Facebook group pages and things like that. Like, people are like, no, I love the spools, I'm gonna miss it. And then other people are like, I notice no difference. This is actually better for me and easier to store. So I kind of have different thoughts about this, because I think Krynic on the card is going to be better for the customer in the long run because of shipping costs. Whenever you place an order online and you add a spool of Krynic, this is now going as a parcel. This adds extra value because it's not flat, it's not going letter mail, it's not, you know, it's going as a parcel for sure, for sure. And so the cost will go up if you have a local needlework shop that changes the price based on weight and how it's going to be shipped. So this is more expensive to ship. This, easy. Like, this could go in an envelope if you just needed one Krynic. Like, this could go in an envelope and be super cheap to ship and easy to come to the customer. So I have those thoughts. I think it comes from working at a needlework shop that I, you know, have these thoughts. And then there's also, I had so many challenges. First, you know, when I started collecting Krynic for certain projects, I had, you know, how am I going to store this? So I typically used to keep these in floss away bags with my project, and then it would get bulky, and then I would have a second project that needed a color, and I was like, do I have that one? I don't know. So I recently changed over to displaying my Krynic and putting it all, you know, I have it all in numbered value, highest or lowest to highest. And I love being able to look like, hey, I have this chart, I need this color, and I'll look and see if I have it. And, you know, in the past I've had, like, let's say I'm working on my Christmas reindeers. I know I'm gonna need, I had purchased, when I first started stitching those, I had purchased all the Krynic I needed for that. And it has like colors like gold and red and, you know, snow color Krynic. So those ones I have like purchased for a certain project, and I'm probably going to use it all up, most of it, for that. So I've sort of saved those ones. I'm not going to use them for random projects, a little bit here and a little bit there. And so far I'm liking my new system. But with these new cards, if over time I'm going to make the change of either putting this in a floss away bag with my project, or on a ring or something like that, if I'm using a ring to hold all my floss, or I might start a new container where you can stack them all, you know, with the number and put them in like a container sort of thing. Like, I might do that too. So some ideas. It does have a hole. So if you're someone who has one of those little pegboards behind you with or around you with your stitchy stuff, this would be great. You just need a hook and you could hook your Krynic on the pegboard. That'd be kind of fun too. So lots of options, lots of thoughts there. I'd love to hear, are you excited about this change? Are you happy about it? Are you frustrated about it? Let me know in the comments, and I would love to hear your thoughts on that. Okay, so let's move on. That was enough talk about Woodland Fairy. She's beautiful, and Krynic and all the things. She was a lot of fun to stitch. So much fun. All right, this next project is a Teresa Wensler Lily Maiden. This has been a project of mine for quite some time, but I was feeling inspired to stitch on this. I'm a big fan of Amy from Fiber Arts Amy, and she recently did a video just a few days ago. You have to go watch it. If you are a fan of Teresa Wensler, she has a whole video where she goes through her whole collection, all of her whips, all of her kits, and all of her stash. It's quite incredible. You have to go watch it. After this video, go watch it if you're into Teresa Wentzler. You'll enjoy the video. But here is my Lily Maiden. And on this stitch, I really wanted to get some more color onto the fabric. I have yet to really stitch much of the fairy in here. I have done her majority of her wings, a little bit of her face and hair, and I'm just starting to get into the colors of her dress. It's a lot of soft pinks and soft purples, and I'm really excited to get them on the fabric. It's the best part of when you start a new project, is getting every single color into the fabric. It's so fun. It's the part I look forward to the most, and there are many colors still I have yet to put into this. There's no purple, and there's lots of purple in this. I really do enjoy the greenery in here though. This has been really, really enjoyable to stitch, because it is just grab one strand, start at the top, fill it in as far as it goes down. Okay, finished. Back up to the top, grab another color. And it's like that on the bottom of this stitch too. Once I get the girl in, the bottom of it is very leafy, greenery. Oh wow, she is going to, once I get her colors in, she is gonna pop like crazy. But I spent a lot of time stitching some holes that I had in her wings. There's this stitch you have to do. I've never done this ever in cross stitch. And it's cross stitching, but it's when you lay one color, two strands, two threads, and you lay half the stitch, just one part of the X, one leg of the X, and then that's all you stitch. And then afterwards, after you've stitched them, you come back with the second part of the stitch, the other side of the X, in a different color. What? And it's all through her wings. It's like stitch a color, half of it, half stitch, and then complete the X with blending filament. So that's where they get the sparkle. Instead of doing two strands of floss and a blending filament together and completing the X like you normally would, I think. It's sort of a different technique I've never done before, and it's messing with my head as I'm stitching. But okay, I spent some time, did some of those stitches to get the sparkle in her wings. You can kind of get a little glimpse of it as I turn the fabric. Some little bit of sparkle there. It's very elegant. It's, the right amount of sparkle. It's not screaming sparkle. It's just in there. It's very, very pretty. I have some more work to do. I still have some more strands that I haven't filled in, and there's more wing. Like this little shape that you see on the side here, this shape right here is a wing. So it's like the under part, and there's another one on this side. So still more wing to go. Next time I pick this up, I do want to see some more pinks and purples. Get her dress going. Get some more shape in there. Very proud of myself of how far I've gotten so far on this Teresa Wentzler project. I have two so far. This is Lily Maiden. I also have a dragon that I've been working on, but this one definitely has way more progress on it. And it's exciting, once you get that border shape in. And look at all the detail back here that I haven't, there's more to do all the way around. There's back stitching and then all the fun blended colors. Teresa Wentzler is like, when I finish this, it's gonna be a huge accomplishment. For real, this is getting framed, getting added to my wall one day. It's very excited. I'm very proud of myself for taking on that challenge and for stitching on it and keeping up with it to keep going. So I want to share a little bit of stitchy kindness because it goes along with Teresa Wentzler. I had mentioned a few videos back how much I love this chart and how much I would love to stitch it. And a lovely viewer reached out to me and said, hey, I have recently found that chart for like 20 cents at a thrift shop. And she's like, if you'd like it, I'll send it to you. I was like, wow, okay, great, that's amazing. And over the summer, she sent this to me. This was from Claudia, and I want to thank her so much for this chart. I'm really, really excited about it. This one's called Trade Winds by Teresa Wentzler. and it's incredible. I have nothing like this. It's got the alphabet in there. It has 2 mermaids. There's sea creatures all throughout this. There's waves of the ocean. There's dolphins in there. The ship is incredible. There's a sun and a moon. This is gonna be so incredible. And I have been looking at this chart. I have had it sitting on my table here for quite some time, since summer. And every time I open up this chart and look at it, I'm like, this isn't so bad. Like, this doesn't look too hard. I could, like, this looks easier than Lily Maiden. This looks easier than my dragon. And I've got a burning desire to, like, should I kit this up? Should I have a 3rd Teresa Wensler? Oh, that's crazy. But I want to stitch it. So I think I might start. I'm starting to dream about what do I want to start and kit up for 2025. And I have, you know, I have a collection of Teresa Wenslers building, but this one's screaming at me the loudest. Maybe because it's the most recent one that I've, you know, acquired, but it's so different from anything I've ever stitched. And I have a love for mermaids. So this might be rising right to the top. And the Teresa Wenslers are fairly easy to kit up. Like they are heavily, there's a lot of floss. But I feel like I have a lot of these colors from my past Teresa Wenslers that I'm wondering, like, I wonder if I could do like a combined kit where it's like, these are all the colors for my Teresa Wenslers bobbinated. I have started doing this for my Teresa Wenslers, where I get the color and bobbinate them. And then I have a card that has the holes in it that has the threads hanging from them, are the ones I'm using for the project. And these are the backups, you know, because it's hard to know how much thread are you going to use for this project. So, and a lot of the colors, I'm finding Teresa Wensler colors, yeah, there's different ones in there for the project, but a lot of them are carried over and they have like a tone to them. Like those are her colors that she loves to use when she charts. So maybe I might do that, go through it and see what colors I'm missing from this kit and fill it up and get some fabric. And what I mean by easy to kit up, it's like, okay, I can get a 32 count or a 28 count platinum or antique white, you know, simple, like I can get my hands on that. Fairly easy, fairly inexpensive, and start stitching on this. Thank you, Claudia, for adding this to my collection and for thinking of me. I'm so excited to add it to my stash, and I think I'm gonna leave it up on top and think about kitting that up for 2025. That'll be really fun. Something to look forward to. So I need to talk about the Year of the Dragon. Stitch along that I started with my best friend, Erica, Fibers and Floss Canada. We started the Year of the Dragon SAL. And I was feeling probably around August, we started it in February to go along with the Lunar New Year. And by August, I was burnt out on my Teresa Wensler Dragon. I was like, I need a break. I need a break. And right around that time, August, somewhere in there, Nora Corbett had released a new dragon on her Patreon. And I downloaded it. I joined her Patreon for the month so that I could get my hands on this chart. And what you're looking at here is the painting, like the hand-drawn design of how this looks. So some of the colors are a little bit different from what you see here compared to this photo on the inside that has like the colors that you would need to purchase. And this looks a little bit more like it. And there were 2 options, which I printed both options off because maybe one day I might stitch a second one because it's supposed to be Fire and Ice Dragon. So here's like the fire colors. Very cool. I don't think I would stitch them back to back, you know, it was like stitch one and then save the chart. Maybe I'll come back to it years later and want to stitch the other one. That's super fun. The one thing that I did with the Patreon and the chart, it like the way that it's charted is, I think, more convenient for someone who has a tablet and has a program to like download the PDF and to look at it, enlarge it, make it smaller, that sort of thing. And I don't have one. So I am a paper chart person. So I printed out the chart. I'm not going to show you the chart, but I'm going to show you what I had to do. I printed out the chart and had to tape it together. And this is how big it is. It's kind of crazy to work off of because I was having trouble. Like, do I start on page 1 and at the tip of the wing? Like I want to start in the middle. So I had to like print the whole chart out, tape it all together. So that was a little challenging. So I have all these papers here, but it's a very easy chart to follow and super fun. Oh my gosh. Can't wait to show you. I'm stitching this on, what did I decide? It's a 32 count Lugana, my new favorite. It's just called green Lugana. And here's where I am so far. So I have, boy, I like, once I had started this, I couldn't stop. I was just like, I want to get that whole shape in there of the dragon. And I got to a certain stopping point and was like, okay, like I was using this Q-snap. And I was like, I don't want to move into another Q-snap from where I am. And I just kept filling in where I was and it filled in as much as I could. There is some beautiful, remember I was telling you that color, 096. There's a little bit, actually no, I haven't stitched this color in there. There is a Krynic and it is very soft green just through the center here. But this color is going to be in the wings. Very, very sparkly. Oh, this is good. And I did a little bit of, you know, a little bit of shaping, some back stitching. There's the claws of the dragon. So I have a new dragon start for my Year of the Dragon SAL to kind of give me some motivation to keep going on the stitch along and you know, keep that passion going for the stitch along. Starting a new dragon, why not? This is incredible. Oh my gosh, I can't wait. I can't wait to get to the wings too, but also this swirl in the design. Like I'm right here, right? I want to get that swirl in and then start those wings the next time I pick this up. Really, really fun. So Nora Corbett, her Patreon. So what she has done, and I think this is so brilliant that she has done this. It was started maybe a year ago. She started the Patreon, maybe just over a year. And I believe the first or the second release that she did on her Patreon was a dragon. Big, beautiful dragon. She has never charted a dragon before. It was very exciting. And during that time I debated, do I want to, you know, because it's kind of expensive to get, you know, to join the Patreon. And I was like, I don't know if I want to do it, but I really kicked myself for not getting the chart. Really kicked myself. And I saw people, you know, stitching on it throughout the year and being like, dang, why didn't I do that? So when this chart was released, her second dragon, I was like, that's it. I have to get it. And I did. And then recently, because it's been a year since she released the dragon, her first one, she has re-released it on her Patreon that now you can just like purchase it. If you want to get the chart, you can just, I don't think you don't need to join the Patreon. You can just look at her Patreon and purchase the chart. So that is so clever. I'm so happy. I haven't purchased it yet. I'm hanging off because, you know, it's like near the end of the year and Christmas is coming and it's like, I have a hard time buying these things for myself sometimes because it's too close to Christmas, right? But in the new year, that is going to be something that I'm going to want to get my hands on and add to my collection and to stitch one day. I love dragons. I love fantasy. I love stitching those types of, you know, mermaids and pixies and all the things. So I'm gonna have to add that to my collection one day. But if you're interested in going to check it out, I'm gonna link her Patreon below so that you can go have a look. If you're like, well, wait a minute, I didn't know there was another dragon. You can go look and see what you think of it. And if you'd like it, you can just purchase it right down there and download the chart. So on the topic of Nora Corbett, every month I have been having, you know, a plan for a new start every month. And this was my October brand new start. This is Anna. She's from the Bewitching Pixies. Wait a minute, that's not the one. I'm like, wait a minute, I don't remember stitching those colors. I'm stitching Gigi. I had stuck Anna there because I want to show you the rest of my collection. This is Gigi, cute black cat, and the broom. This is what I had started for my brand new start for October. I love the colors in here. Very simple, like when you look at the back, has the list of all of the DMC. There's not a lot to these. Majority of it is 310, and then there's some blues in there. There's the colors for the broom, and then a small list of beads. Very doable. One color of Krynic, and here's where I got to. I'm stitching all of these on the 32 count milk chocolate fabric from Witch Out, and boy, I had a ton of fun. This is just all the black. I started at the very top. I did something I never do. I don't do this very often, where I see a chart and normally I would start like right in the middle and work my way up. But with this chart, her hat was directly, the top of her hat was directly in the middle of the chart. So I just moved down where I wanted to go and started in the middle, and that was so fun to be able to get that shape of her hat in there, her hair, stitch some skin, and then a lot of that black in her dress. There's tons more to do, but next time I pick this up, I most likely will come back up here and fill in some blue in her hat and get the blue in her dress. I really just wanted to get some shape in here, stitch as far as I could, getting that beautiful shape of her dress in there. Here she is again. Gigi. I fell in love with this design because of the black cat. I used to have a cat just like that with a super long black tail. Her name was Shadow, and she was my very first pet. And yeah, she was around for almost 20 years. It was a long time. And so every time I'm stitching on this chart, I'm going to be thinking of Shadow. And I have another chart, Anna, that I just showed you. I'll show you again, that has a black cat in it too. So I'm just like drawn to them. Had to stitch those two. There's quite a few in the collection for the Bewitching Pixies. And it's one of my favorite collections that she's done. And I chose because I always do everything in sixes. Like if there's 6 of them, I want to complete the set. And out of this one, I believe there's 12, maybe even more, 18. There's a whole bunch of Bewitching Pixies, different series of them. And I chose my 6 favorites. So this is Anna with the black cat. And I love the apple. I always think of my best friend, Erica, when I see an apple in a chart, because her last name is Appleton. And yeah, I can't help it. Like if I see an apple in a chart, I'm like, oh, that reminds me of Erica. Beautiful. I love the colors in this one. And then this one here, Bewitching Pixies. This is Minvera. And it's very obvious, you know, the colors, that jewel tone color in her dress, but then you get this tree and moon and owl. How cool is that? This is the only one out of the Bewitching Pixies that I have that is sort of like a little bit of a scenery. This one's special. And then as I was, you know, over the month of October, I really was like, oh man, I wanted to so badly have a display behind me with all of my Bewitching Pixies that I've done so far. And so I started the process. I washed the ones that I have completed, because typically when I'm finished a project, I fold it up, put it in a drawer, and it sits there until it's time to do something with it. And I want to get out of that habit. I want to, you know, when I'm finished a project, like wash it up, press it, hang it up. I have a closet that I like to keep them in, and you know, on the hanger, and just that added weight of it hanging down, you know, helps the fabric, and all the beads and everything. It just sort of adds that weight and helps the fabric, I think. And I want to continue doing that because I'm trying to move away from getting the folded lines that have been, you know, from that fabric being folded and sitting in a drawer and compressed on top of each other. So I'm trying to get away from that. And you'll see here, I have, I brought out my Bewitching Pixies, the ones that I've completed so far, gave them a bath, ironed them up, and they've been hanging in my closet. And here is, oh boy, now I'm gonna try to remember the names of it. This one's Emmy. Now, do you see, I've freshly washed this and I'm still struggling with some lines, and I've ironed. So what I do when I have a project that has beading, how do you iron it, Samantha? This is what I get questions about all the time, and I'm not an expert. As you can tell, I'm not an expert. But what I typically do, and from advice that I've had from other people, is to, on your ironing board, to lay down a towel, a nice plush thick towel, and you would lay your project down, beads down. And if you're using, like I do, when I stitch, I use an invisible floss, and it's sort of like a plastic, right? So ironing the back of this could potentially melt the plastic. So what I do is I lay down a pillowcase on top of this, and then iron. And what that does is sort of protect the plastic from not melting, and the towel on the bottom, the plush towel on the bottom, doesn't flatten your beads. Your beads will go into the towel as you're ironing. So that's what I've done. And I believe, even though you do see some crinkles in the fabric, I believe that when it is time to get this framed, having it stretched properly will help, I hope. And maybe they have some techniques that they use too to like get all the wrinkles out, but that's my hope. This just might be as best as it's going to look, and that's okay. But this is the beautiful stitching. This was the first one I did many years ago. Like, I'm not even sure, was it 5 years ago? I don't know. It was before I had a book of days to track all of my stitching. All I have really is Instagram, and Instagram was fairly new for me. So I don't have those years to like go back on to see, when did I stitch that? No idea. It's gone from my memory. I don't know. I know I had kids, like they were, you know, it wasn't before children. It was definitely while I had my children. So I have that to kind of go off of. But this one sort of reminded me of Girl Guides. I used to be a Girl Guide leader, like a, you know, Sparks and Brownie leader when my girls were in the program, and enjoyed that very much. And we did some archery, and the blue colors really remind me of the uniform that the Girl Guides wear. And yeah, that's what really inspired me to stitch this one. Look at the beautiful colors. Like, this is just incredible. Sarah, Lady Lugana, is currently stitching this one, and she's doing hers with, I believe it's on a milk chocolate fabric, and for her black, she's using Anchor black instead of DMC black, and it looks incredible, the coverage that she's getting on that black. And it's something that I want to try. I have purchased some Anchor floss, and I want to try it on another, not these Bewitching Pixies, because I'm using black 310, but on another project I want to compare the two and see which one I like better. But this is so fun. It's Emmy. All right, I will show you the others. This one is Cleo. I love this one. The crow, the purple colors, and the green and the black, how it just pops off of this fabric is incredible. So this was the second one I stitched. Give you a little bit more of a close-up. Sparkly gems. And I keep going back and forth in my head. Is she wearing a cape that is flying in the wind and kind of looks like raven wings? Or is that a wing? I don't know. In my brain, I feel like that is a cape, and as it's floating in the, like flying up in the wind, kind of looks like a raven's wing. And the reason why I think that is because of the last one with the cape. Like, because this one didn't have wings, and she had a cape. Made me think that this one doesn't have wings and that's a cape. But I don't know. Something I would have to ask the designer one day if I ever get a chance to meet her. And then my most recent finish, you've all seen, if you follow my channel, you've seen Luna. She was my finish this year. She's freshly washed and pressed and looking amazing. She has wings. Those are definitely wings. Look at the pumpkins. This one kills me. It's so good. The green's sparkly Kreinik. This one's so fun. And then that big gem right here. Oh my gosh. And I love the way Nora does this sometimes with the little swirl, and at the end there's the gem. So pretty. So for now, as much as I would have loved to have had these displayed behind me for you know, the month of October, for now they are hanging and together, freshly washed, looking sharp. I can look at them whenever I like, and yeah, I can bring them out and show them to you, and as I go along and complete more of them, get them all together, maybe as a set of 6, I can get them framed or have a plan for them to get framed. So on the topic of framing, my last video, I believe it was my last video, where I had talked to you all about, it was my 3-year anniversary. So thank you to all of the lovely messages. I loved reading all of your comments. And I had mentioned for my 3-year anniversary, I was feeling inspired to pick a piece. I had 4 fully finished projects that needed to be framed, and I needed your help. Which one should I pick and get framed? And there were 4 choices, and I have gone through all of the comments and did a tally. You know, this one voted for this one and this one voted for that one. And so the options were What Remains Is Love by Blackbird Designs, Alice in Wonderland by Owl Forest Embroidery, Tiger Lily by Nora Corbett, and The Halloween Tree by Barbara Ann Designs. And so the votes are in. Halloween Tree, which I'm going to show you in a second because I've watched that one. It had 11 votes, and this is it. This is the one. It had 11 votes. A lot of really nice comments were like, Samantha, you don't have anything like this in your background. It would be great to hang up for Halloween, and I couldn't agree more. However, I think this is a piece that I feel comfortable enough maybe finding a frame at a secondhand shop and learning how to lace and put this together myself, I think. So I'm leaving this one. This one had 11 votes though. The next one had 28 votes, and it was Tiger Lily. And the comments that came in about Tiger Lily were like, you have 3 pixies behind you, like time to add a new one, right? And it's like, I'm halfway through my set, and it would be wonderful to add Tiger Lily to the list. And I agree with them. 28 votes. Owl Forest Embroidery, Alice in Wonderland had 36 votes. And the one that won is What Remains Is Love by Blackbird Designs. And the comments that I had received were, Samantha, when you were talking about that piece, you lit up the most. Like it was the one that deep down you were, you know, really hoping everybody would pick. And it's something, I don't have any samplers. I don't have anything Blackbird Designs framed, and it would be a great addition to my wall. And so that's the one that I have chosen to do. I have taken it to Lizzie B's to get framed, and it is currently in the process. You know, the frame is getting ordered and all of the things. And I need to send out a special thank you to all of you who voted, for helping me decide and for like reassuring myself like that's the one that I needed to do, because I needed to talk it out with you all. And also I need to give out a special thank you, because I couldn't have done this without you all. I have a Buy Me a Coffee link that I had put on my, you know, that's under the description that people have been clicking on throughout the last 3 years. And I've been saving up. You know, my whole goal was that anything that comes through the Buy Me a Coffee link, I would use to frame a piece. And so I want to thank those people who have used the link to purchase. I don't bring it up that often, you know, like the buy me coffee, but it's there. And if anybody uses that link, it is going to be to frame a piece. And so I want to thank all those who have used the link and have contributed, because I literally couldn't have done it without you all. And also I had a special gift. A viewer had reached out to Lizzie Bees and had made a donation to go towards my framing. And I want to thank you so much for that. That was such a special thing. She didn't want to be mentioned on the video, and I appreciate that. But I just wanted to send out a special thank you. I hope you hear this because yeah, it is very exciting to have one of my pieces in the process of being framed, and I cannot wait for it to be finished, hopefully before Christmas. And I'm going to showcase it in the next video. Well, when I get it back, as soon as I get it back, I'm going to be dying to film a video. And it's going to be something that I'm going to display behind me probably year round because it's a blackbird and it's beautiful, and it almost signifies the beginning of my Flosstube journey as well. I had started that project right around the time I had just started to film Flosstube, so it's a special one for me. You've seen it from the beginning, like me holding up that chart and being like, look at this brand new kit I just got for my birthday, and watching me stitch it throughout the years and to complete it and then to get it framed. That's really special to me, and I hope it's special to you all too. I can't wait. I literally can't wait to get it back. I'm dying to show you what frame we picked out. Barb helped me pick out a beautiful frame for it, and I think it's going to look amazing in the backdrop. So excited. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you. All right, I want to switch gears a little bit and talk about, I have more works in progress to show you, but I kind of want to switch it up a bit. I have some things that I have accumulated over the last couple months, and birthday presents included. So my husband, he's so wonderful, has heard me talk about, you know, how I want to add another beading another beading set to my collection because I've outgrown this one. I was gifted by a viewer, Beth. She had reached out to me and had, you know, gifted me with some really beautiful charts. And she also passed along a huge stash of beads that I was able to add to my collection. And once I filled up my containers, I was like, wow, I am out of space, and there's still more beads that I could collect. More projects that will come along in the future. And so my husband, for my birthday, had got me a new set of these art dot containers. And I'm being very careful with them because I've already filled these up. It's crazy. So what I've decided to do, this one is a little bit of a larger set, still fits perfectly on my desk and like on my shelf behind me. And, but I've decided to put in here the bigger beads. So anything that are like the number 6, 8, 12, I think. And then I've also decided to start putting in my charms. So they have a home now, and it's incredible. And I'm really excited to share this with you. Like, just to pop this open and to show you, these ones are the circular tubes. And the ones that I have in the other container are the sort of like Tic Tac size containers. But this is really fun too. Still has the same like sticker and the number. And so I've gone through here and labeled all of my beads. These are all the large ones. I'm pretty much full. And on the back here, there's another, these are some of the ones that Beth had sent to me. These are delicas, but they're a larger size, right? And so what I did is I cut off the label from the packaging and put it on my tube, and I'm gonna store them in here too. If I get any more of them, I will add them in here as well, because these, like, they're the same size as the Mill Hill beads. I'm not sure which ones, but they're very similar in size to the other ones that I collect, like the 18180 numbers. They're the same size, but you just never know when you're gonna need a bead for a certain project. Because sometimes I do that, like with an owl forest embroidery, I'm like, ooh, this is calling for a bead, like I need to add something here. I have a collection now. This is so incredible. And then down here are all my charms. Some of them I have, you know, just a couple of charms in there or a couple packets, and other ones I've got many of the same color. And then again, like there's bugle beads in here. And I've also, any of the delicas that Beth had given to me, I have the label on here. And these are like the, what do you call those? Bicone or something? And they're the ones that kind of look like a, almost like a diamond, I guess. I don't know how to describe it, but I love using these. I love using these in charts and in designs, like especially like a, I don't know, like a, if I'm doing something like a, something that sort of reminds me of a Nora Corbett and it doesn't have any sparkles in it, and it's like, oh, that's screaming for a gem to go here. Like I have a collection now, this is so exciting. And it brings me so much joy to like put this together and to be able to have a place for all of my sparkly things. And sometimes I just look through them, like just to be like, ooh, get inspired. Like, you know what I should use this one for? Like, or if I have an idea, I can look through my collection and see if there's something in here that sparks that like, oh, that would be perfect in this design. So that's really fun. So I have to thank my husband for getting those for me. I've really enjoyed putting them all together. They come with, you know, one of these little, you know, so you can put it in the thing and pour all your beads in there. You don't spill any. So that's kind of fun. And then it comes with stickers so that you can label all of your beads. And then what I've done for my bead collection is I went to the Witchelt website and I printed off the list of all the beads. Like I can come and look at my collection anytime to like, oh, do I have that number? But I also like having a paper copy, and I've gone through them and I've checked off all the ones that I have. And sometimes this might be convenient for like, if I'm going to a Stitchy store and I'm wondering like, what am I missing from my collection? I could take a photo of this or take this with me and go shopping. That's sort of the idea. It's kind of crazy. I know, like, I can't help it. I'm a collector and I want to collect them all. That's bad. But it's the simple things that bring me joy, and I love having a bead collection, and I love having all the sparkly things, and to be able to kit up a project and just, I have it. That feels great, and it looks great on my display behind me with all my Kreinik beads. I love it. So yeah, I wanted to share that with you. Next thing I wanted to share with you is something that happened over the summer. This is from Canada Swaps. So Karen, the Stitching Owl, and the Two Base Stitchers put on this wonderful event this summer that was called Canada Swaps. And what it was is, you know, you would have to email Karen and say, yeah, I want to join, I want to take part. And you needed to stitch something that was on the smaller side and complete it and send it, and they would give you someone who you're sending yours to. And I shipped mine off, and this is what I received, and I've been dying to show this to you. This is from Jessica. She's from Ontario, and she sent me this lovely postcard. Very cool. And on the back, she had written, you know, a little bit about herself, because I've never met Jessica, and I went and followed her on Instagram, so now we can follow each other. And she said to me on the back of this card, she said that she learned about the Canada Swap from watching my channel, and then she was chosen to be my person. And so that was really exciting. So she's like, wow, that's amazing. And she says, congratulations for being, you know, 3 years on Flosstube. And she shared her works in progress, which designers she loves working on. So that was really kind of fun to get a note from her and to see, you know, what sort of things she likes to stitch. And when I had so much fun opening up her parcel. I have never been a part of anything like this before, so it was kind of like a new experience for me, and Jessica didn't disappoint. She has this really adorable design that she had stitched. Oh yeah, I wanted to tell you, like, one of the rules was you had to pick a Canadian designer. Let me look this up. This is called the Quirky Quaker Fox by Darling and Whimsy Designs. It's so cute. And I mean, Jessica added a cute little charm. It's got 2024 and did an amazing job finishing this pillow. Like, the talent. I don't know how to do this. Like, I don't know how to do this. It's so perfect. I absolutely love it. Look at the stitching. This cute little box. So this is something I'm going to display. I've been saving this for the video, and I'm gonna bring it out and put it in my display. This is so cute. And inside here, she had also, you know, everything was so beautifully packaged. You know, everything was in like a little envelope with a little sticker. And this really excites me. She had gifted me a Roxy floss. I have never held Roxy floss in my hands before. This one's called What in Carnation? A beautiful color floss. This makes me so happy. I'm gonna have to find something special to stitch with this. This is almost like a skin color. I love it. I love it. I love it. It's a dream of mine to kit up a project in Roxy floss. It's a dream of mine. And then she also gifted me this really cute sticker with a box on it. And I did look up this company on, I believe they're on Etsy, prettyblooms.ca. Beautiful stuff there. Cute. And then she also gifted me something that she's handmade as well. I believe Jessica has an Etsy shop, and she had, I'm following her on Instagram. It's Just Made This. And she has an Etsy shop, and she does these really cute little scissor containers, like a little sleeve that you can put your scissors in with an adorable button. So talented. So I can't wait to start using this. Look at the fabric. Little scissors on there. This is so cute. Thank you so much, Jessica. But this made my day. Like, I hope that they do this again. And it kind of gives me some ideas too. Like I said, I'd never been a part of anything like this before. So giving me a little bit of ideas of like, okay, what could I do next time for my stitch? And how would I finish it? And how would I package it up and all the things? So it was a lovely experience, all in all, and really, really fun. And what a special way to kind of get to know other stitchers, you know, throughout Canada. That's really fun. So I'm so thankful to be a part of that. All right. I have another Stitchy kindness that I've been dying to share with you. This came to me, this arrived in September, and this is from Tammy. Now, Tammy, she has a floss tube, okay? I've been following her since she started her floss tube. She's from Australia, and she moved to Canada, like, I believe 6 months or a year ago. Like, she hasn't been in Canada for very long. And you can go follow her I'm gonna link everything below. Tammy has a floss tube called Tammy's Cinnamon Stitches. And I've been following her for a long time because her and I had a couple of stitches that we've been doing that were similar. She also is stitching Owl Forest Embroidery Alice in Wonderland, but she's got a really cool spin on her. She's using like a darker fabric, and she's kitted up her own colors. Like, it's really cool. And that sort of like sparked my interest, you know, with her and following along on her journey. And that's how it started. But she has started her own company, and it's called TP Makes, tpmakes.com, and it's fine art and it's cross stitch. And she has put together this amazing box. Even the box is cool. This is how it arrived, everybody. When I got this in the mail, this is how it came. tpmakes.com. You see her logo there. Thank you for your support. Even the bottom of the box has all of her info on there. Very cool. And I mean, this is just a special touch with her logo and, you know, with the wax. So cool. So this is just the box. Inside the box was a Halloween box, and she has created these and everything. I'm going to link everything below so that you can go check it out too. I believe she still has some of these available on her website at a discount. So you'll have to go check it out. If anything in this box is like, I need to get that. She had gifted me this cool card. It says Happy Halloween, it says thank you, and some stickers in here that I'm going to add to my book of days. How cool is that? And something that this is all her art. Something I want to talk about, like, and share is that her art is amazing and different. Like even the little, like the bugs and the creatures and the you know, things that she shows is like, I've never seen before. It's a really cool flower, really cool card. Okay, so let's get to the good stuff. So inside the box, I have a chart here. This is a brand new design by her. And if I had fabric, I would have already started this. I need to get some fabric, something very cool for this. This is Midnight Menagerie. And this is a chart that she has designed. Look at all the cool creatures. And something very cool about this chart is that in the center is stitched with glow-in-the-dark floss. I've always wanted to do a stitch like that where it has the glow-in-the-dark floss. So I have two charts. This one's my copy, and I have a second copy because I'm going to do a giveaway with this episode. If you are interested in entering, all you need to do is enter below by using the comment midnight, and I'm going to do a draw later for one of these charts and give them away to you so I can share. That was really nice of her to add two into the box so that I can stitch one myself and share with you all. But look at her design. This is so cool. Inside, the way that she like packages everything is incredible. Inside here is a pamphlet that you can read up and, you know, obviously get all the things that you need to stitch this design up. Doesn't look like many colors, maybe 10. And it gives a description of, you know, the parrot and the moth and the frog and like all the things in there. So that's kind of cool. And then, I mean, look at this. It has a little card that on the back it says start date, finish date, fabric, and alterations. Like something that you can add to, like if you frame this later and you wanted to put all the information with it, you have a little card that you can tuck into the back. That's a cool little feature. And the paper is done on some really like nice quality paper. The chart is nice and big and easy to read. Amazing. Like I said, if I had fabric, I would be stitching this right now. So I have to. I have one that I can share with you. To enter, just use the word midnight and I'll do a draw on my next video. In here, in the Halloween box, we've got, these are like little necklaces. And there's different colors here. I have this one. And you can see the picture on the design, like it comes with everything you need to stitch it. So it's got the wooden hoop, the floss that you need to stitch it, and then also a way to like wear it as a necklace. That's very cool. This is Tammy here. Share her little Photoshop. She's done a great job packaging everything. It looks amazing. And I've been dying to show this to you so that I could get my hands, like open these up and actually start stitching them because I'm going to do them all. Look at those colors. This one has some sparkly floss in there too. Very cool. One more. Purple one. Pretty. Everything you need to stitch it. This is so cool. She's also made, for her Halloween box, gift tags. This is Mini Midnight Menagerie. So this is the tag, and then on the inside, there are some parcel tags and what you would need to attach them. I'm gonna open this with you because I have a feeling that these are different. Yep. How cool. Look at this. The moth. And look at this cool bug. Like, I don't even know the names of these. That's why what I mean by interesting, like exotic. Like, what is that? So cool. Okay, so those are the gift tags. Inside the Halloween box, there's a needle minder, and it comes in this cute little box. she gifted me too. This is a little tag on the top of the box. Okay, this is what it's called. And I'm not even, it's an Italian striped shield bug with a big long name that I'm not gonna be able to pronounce. Very cool, but here is the needle minder. Like, what? This is so cool. The magnets on the back. And on the like, this is gonna be the perfect place to place your needle. I can't wait to use these. I don't have anything like this. This is just so cool. Really nice, strong magnet. A very cool needle minder. What a treat. Like, look at, so cute. Here's the second one that she's gifted me. How do I open it? A ladybug. And she's got a description on the back. Very cool. Like, I can't wait to find a project for this. One of them is going to go with here, and then another one with one of my, you know, maybe a Mirabilia or something, just something cool. Or a Halloween stitch. Those are so unique. So cool. She's coming out with new stuff all the time. I follow her on Instagram, and she's come out with some really cool designs. You'll have to go check it out. You'll have to go meet Tammy if you haven't met her before, because she's colorful and fun, and she has great designs, but also wonderful stitching, and she's a beautiful artist. So go check her out. We also have a set of cards. Midnight Menagerie. Each box contains 5 cards and 5 envelopes. And these are the designs. Some bookmarks. Very cool. I'm gonna open it. Everything was so beautifully in this box. Owl moth. This is called Dracula Parrot. Cane toad. Those are very cool. Italian striped shield bug. This one, common. I'm not gonna pronounce it. I don't know. That's the name. Look at this guy. This is crazy. This is giving me all the Halloween vibes, you know, from the chart too. Look at that. It's kind of creepy. And not only that, she has in here, she has a line of fabrics that she's created to go along with this whole Halloween kit. This one is Dracula's lace. This is so exciting because I don't have any fabric, and I've been dying to learn how to make project bags. I wonder if this is somehow, or I might even ask for Erica's help because she's talented with this kind of stuff, to help create some bags using this cool, there's a fat quarter. This is a Godfrey the Toad. This one is mothmerizing. Like, you can already see it, right? How cool would this be? This is a beetle. I'm so excited about this. So it's peridot, and rhino something, like a rhinestone. These are very cool. So this whole box, this whole Halloween box she has available on her website that you can go check out and see if there's any remaining if you're interested, along with all of the other very cool things that Tammy creates. If you're interested in getting this chart too, this is so cool. Use that needle minder to stitch this. I want to stitch this and use something that is very similar to this with the grays, so that that moon pops off of it, gives it that look of the night sky. So if you have any thoughts of, if you have like something that you're like, you know, would be perfect, let me know in the comments below what you would stitch this on. It's very cool. I want to do something with modeling, right? Like to give it that modeled look. It's very cool. I can't wait to start this and stitch, finally, to be able to stitch something in glow-in-the-dark floss, because I have some. I collected some a while back when I was sort of like collecting glow-in-the-dark beads and glow-in-the-dark flosses, glow-in-the-dark Krynic. I went through a whole rabbit hole, and I still haven't to this day stitched something glow-in-the-dark, but I've been dying to. So this is the perfect start. And I'm going to use these really fun stickers to decorate my book-a-days. It's going to be a lot of fun. So there, that's tpmakes.com. You'll have to go check it out if you're interested. If you want to go meet Tammy and learn about who she is and go watch her Flosstube, it's Tammy's Cinnamon Stitches on Flosstube. Okay, I have more to show you. I have more stitching. Lots more stitching to show you. That was fun. That was so fun. Okay, next up, stitching wise, I have been working on a stitch along with Owl Forest Embroidery called Treasure Island. And this was calling to me kind of over when I was in my Halloween stitchy bug. Because to me, Treasure Island is like when you think of trick-or-treaters, like a lot of people dress up as pirates and things like that, right? And I was kind of going along with that theme, like, oh. So when I picked this up, the last time I had stitched on it, I was working right in the center and I had outlined the island in the middle. And now it is completely done, the center. That was a ton of stitching. Some of it challenging, some of it super easy and enjoyable. The parts that I had to like, come on, Samantha, you can do it. Just one more, you've got this. Was all the back stitching to do the outlines of like the North Inlet, the Spyglass Hill, Skeleton Island, and to do all the writing in the center. I found it challenging due to the chart, and I went slow. It was very it's delicate, it's not just back stitching something. It's like a little over here and up, get that shape to make the curve. And it was a little bit challenging, but I got through it and I'm very, very pleased. All of the back stitching has now been complete. I don't have to worry about any more words and that sort of thing. But isn't Treasure Island looking incredible? I am so close to a finish. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, I think 4 parts left in the stitch along. There's 2 more pirates. And then the bottom border, there's a treasure chest and a parrot and some palm trees. So there's still some really fun, colorful, fun parts left to the stitch along that I have left to go. But for now, I'm taking a break, putting it away for a while. I had a ton of fun completing that island, to getting all the stitching in there. That was super fun to get those colors into the stitch. You know what? I was a little while ago, I went to a thrift store and I was looking through all the books, and I stumbled upon, I'm kind of kicking myself that I didn't get it, but it was a Treasure Island book for kids. And it was old. You could tell it was probably a book that sat on the shelf for a long time. It wasn't something that was beat up and read a million times. It was sort of like a collector's piece, I think. And I flipped through it. I was like, oh, because it had lots of writing but also tons of pictures. And what I noticed about the book was when I saw the island, I was like, whoa, that is the exact shape that I have been stitching on my island stitch. So, whoever had created, the designer who created this stitch along must have, really obviously understand the books. You have to be able to understand the story to create something like this, but also to some of the imagery that they used was even these here. I can't remember, what is this compass called again? Oh, somebody told me, a rose, nautical rose, something like that. This was in the book. This exact shape of was in the book. I just thought that was so cool. I was like, wow, I didn't put those together. I thought that, you know, whoever had put this design together had just come up with putting an island in the center. Like, I had no idea that they had actually gone by what the books and the you know, the sort of like the original, bit of the original design into the stitch. That's very cool. And just something I thought was neat. And I'm kind of kicking myself that I didn't buy that book. Dang. But anyways, there's Treasure Island. I'm excited to finish this in 2025. I'm not in a rush. You know, I like to take my time with each of my projects. You know, of course, I want to keep them up and open and stitching on them often enough, but also I don't like to rush through them either. This was a special project for me. You know, being able to kit this up and to use the floss from Owl Forest Embroidery, like, I don't want it to end. I don't want it to end, but one day it will. I have Alice in Wonderland Complete Treasure Island will be a great second edition. And I'm very excited to find out what the new stitch along, because the mushroom one that they have going on right now is almost complete. And last year that I had, you know, I've been following, you know, sort of the posts and things like that Owl Forest make, and one of them had said that next year it's going to be a 1 year long stitch along. And it kind of made me think, like, could something start in January and there be like some sort of, you know, theme around the months? I don't know. I'm dying to know what's going to happen next year, because I'm going to be right there glued to the glued to it to see what it's going to be, because I love stitching their patterns. All right, this one, I have a couple more things to show you. This one is back to a Mirabilia. This one's called the Cottage Garden Fairy. I'm on a big fairy kick right now. Anything with wings, I'm like, oh, I want to stitch it. And this one, I was sort of stitching a different part of the design. You saw my other fairy where I had like her upper body, her face, and I was stitching her wings. This one, I started in the center of the design and I'm working on the dress. So that's kind of fun to have different projects at different stages on different types of fabric and on different sections of the stitch. That's kind of fun. This one stitched on a 32 count, picture this plus oaken. And I'm currently working on her dress. So the parts that I worked on this is looking incredible. I'm in love with the fabric and the colors, the way that they're popping off of the fabric. So good. Okay, so what I worked on is I completed these bows that are at the back of her dress. I completed all of that. I put the sparkly floss in. The only thing I haven't done is the beads, right? And I added some more blue into this ribbon of her dress. Got those blues in there. I also had recently received, well, this was months ago, but I had recently, you know, got the colors that I needed for the cry neck in this one. And because I had them, I was like, I'm gonna put them in. Oh, and I'm still kind of unsure of what this part is on her dress. It's like this belt that's over her lap, kind of like a sash, that's super sparkly. Let's see if you can see it in her design. It doesn't sparkle in the, you know, in the picture, but there's definitely something on her lap. And this will, all the spaces in here are all beads. So it's gonna be very blingy. And then I also, did I do any greenery? I did do some. I did a little bit in here and down here to get this shape in here, because all I had was the lighter green. So I added in this, like, the way this chart is done, it's like, here's the lightest, palest green, and then pale green, and a little bit darker, and then deep dark green. And then you've got the blues. So I kind of just went down and added that third color, fourth color, fifth color, and I'm going through. So the next stage is, like, you can see that deep dark green that kind of goes in the center of her dress. I want to get all of that in there to kind of fill in this space here. Next time, I'm not going to touch those wings though. This one is going to be the wings are last. And I love this chart, the Cottage Garden Fairy with her beautiful wand. Oh, this is good. Old chart. It's MD 63, 2002. Gosh, Nora Corbett has been around. She's been designing for a long time. 32 years or something like that. And I couldn't help but wonder, like, she's been designing for a long time, and when she hit her 25-year anniversary, there were some special things that happened, like some charts got re-released, a new chart, you know, some really cool charts got designed. I wonder, you know, when her 30th came around, I was like, oh, maybe, nope, nothing happened. Okay, maybe her 35th? I don't know, I'm hoping something cool happens again like that, because there are a lot of her earlier designs that are, you know, sought after, popular, wish people could get their hands on. And I'm sure if they like brought back a couple of them, they would sell like hotcakes, right? People would be like all over that, all special edition, like I want to get my hands on that copy, that sort of thing for us collectors out there. That would be very, very exciting. All right, so that's that one. I think that's it for our works in progress. However, today in the mail, I received my round robin. So if you've been following along, Erica, Fibers and Floss Canada, Sarah, Lady Lugana, the three of us have done a round robin. And the idea was a little different, you know, compared to some round robins where it's like you would all get the same chart and stitch a corner of it and pass it along to the next person. And then when you get it back, it's like completed. Ours was a little different of a spin. We each chose a project that was a current whip, something that we already had started. It was in our collection, it was in our whip lineup, and something that we wanted to get some momentum on. You know, if it went through 2 other stitchers and it came back to you, it didn't need to be finished, but it definitely got some progress. And I have finished my section of Round Robin. I've completed it and I sent it back to Erica, and she has it now. She had chosen Kringles by Little House Needleworks, and yeah, I finished a block on it, and I didn't take a picture of my completed block, but she has it now, and I'm sure she'll show it soon and show her progress on that one as well, especially because the Christmas season is coming. But yeah, so she has her completed piece back to her, and my project that I chose for the stitch along is Halloween at Hawk Run Hollow. This is my oldest work in progress, 2021, I believe I had started this, right around the time I had started my Flosstube. And I'm excited to show you where it is now. So the last time I had this, I had completed 3 blocks and was working on the 4th one. So I had completed this one, this one, this one, and I had started this one, maybe like 25% done kind of thing. And here it is now. Oh my gosh. So when this went to Erica, she had completed the block for me, which looks amazing. There's Erica stitching there. And then she had even gone ahead and finished the border for the whole stitch, which is a project on its own to complete the border. But I'm very excited about that because now I can jump around in the design. If I want to do the middle, I can do the middle. If I want to do this block, I can do that block. You know, I can go wherever I want. And then Erica had actually started this block as well. I think she had done like half of it. And this is like a full coverage, 92 by 92 block. And then she sent it to Sarah, Lady Lugana, and she stitched on it and she finished the block. Look at that, that's her stitching there on the bottom with the treasure chest and the skulls and all the water. Oh my gosh, this is so good. Oh my gosh, it's like bringing it like, oh, I can't wait to stitch on this again. It has been a whole year. I think I stitched on this last year in 2023, and I don't believe I had a chance to stitch on it in 2024. And now that Halloween has passed, I still feel like, oh, I could pick this up tomorrow and stitch on it and have a good time. However, I think I'm gonna wait until the new year to stitch on this again. But it is so exciting to see my oldest WIP get this much progress and moved this far along. This is on 40 count linen, Legacy by Picture This Plus, which I believe is the called for fabric. And it's all stitched in DMC, 1 strand over 2 linen threads. This is gonna be incredible, right? This is gonna be so good once it's completed, and such an achievement. One thing that I've been thinking about, I saw this one time on Instagram, somebody who had been stitching this chart, and the way that they had decided to tackle this huge project was not by completing 1 block at a time. What they did is they had stitched the whole border. That would be hard to do, I get it, that part would be hard to get to. Then the next thing that they did was each time they picked up the project, they started in a new block and they would stitch like the outline of the mummies and a little bit of the wording or something like that, right? Okay, put it away. Didn't complete the block. Moved on to the next block, stitched the owl and stitched some trees, got the crocodile in there and like, oh, little of this, little of that. Okay, stopped, put the project away. Came back at it again. Oh, stitched the train, the outline of the ghosts. Didn't stitch them all in though, you know, and they went through the whole project like this. And when they took a photo of their project in the progress, it was like, you could see, oh yeah, that's the witches in the center. Oh, there's the outline of the cauldron. Oh, there's all the pumpkins on this side, but the Scarecrow's not done yet, you know? And I just thought to myself, how cool it looked, for one, how cool it looked to have a project that every time you pulled it out, it was like you could see the progress all over the fabric and not just in one section. And see the picture come to life. I thought that was so clever. And I'm tempted to do that with the remaining sections on this chart. Or if I'm not brave enough to do that yet, I have another Hawk Run. Autumn at Hawk Run Hollow, and it would be kind of cool to start from the beginning with that thought process, you know, because now I'm sort of got these 5 blocks that are like completely finished, so it might look kind of silly, like 5 blocks completed and the rest of it sort of unstitched in certain spots, but if you started from the beginning with that thought process, I think that would be really cool. I just had to share my thoughts with you all. Tell me what you think. What would you do? Would you try it? Would you give that a go? Would you think, oh, I'll never get through it if I do it that way? Or would that help you get through the project, seeing the progress throughout the whole stitch? I'm curious to know. So there we go. That is the round robin. What else can I share with you? I have a decision that I've made. I have more to show you, but I'm gonna save it for the next video because I have so much that I've been stitching on. I have been stitching, and I've been enjoying Flosstube. I've been enjoying the content and stitching a ton. So I have more to show you in the next video, but I thought it'd be kind of fun to tell you, share with you a thought I had about 2025. I'm thinking about starting, I have chosen a chatelaine. I've chosen a chatelaine that I want to stitch, my first one. This was a gift from Beth. It's called the Summer Garden Mandala. I love the design. I'm not gonna stitch it on black fabric though. It's definitely gonna be like antique white or something, a cream or something, but not black, because I enjoy stitching on black only if it's a small project. If it's a big one, I am too scared to attempt that, but I think this would look beautiful and amazing on a lighter fabric, and it's got bee skips in there and strawberries in the center and all the things you would think about in summertime, right? All the flowers and beautiful things. So that's amazing. I also have the, I've been gifted the Delicas to go along with this stitch, and I'm gonna start thinking about fabric start kitting up the floss that I need for this chart. So I just wanted to share that with you because that's exciting. I've never done a chatelaine before, and I'm trying new designers, and I know I'm gonna love like the sparkly aspect of this chart. And you know, the going around like doing a center square and then making the square bigger. Like I think I'm really gonna enjoy that process. So I'm excited. I've made a decision. 2025, I'm gonna start the summer garden mandala, maybe for my birthday, because my birthday's in the summer, and it gives me some time to kit this up. Okay, so that's that for today. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you had fun sitting through this long video. Boy, I think this might be my longest one yet, but I had a lot to catch you up on, and I very much enjoyed filming today, and I hope you enjoyed your time spending time with me too. So take care, everyone. I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.